That's what I want folks to ask Elon Musk. Why is he so sure that Trump wouldn't have won without him? Tell us more.
Well, I mean, this is about the giant egos of the president of the United States and the shadow president of the United States, the richest man in the world. And so I think he's trying to say to Trump, I own you. You wouldn't be there without me. I don't know how he's so specific, but I would just say it was hard not to get the popcorn out, I will admit.
I'm sure.
The crazy thing about this fight between these two guys is that 16 million Americans are about to lose their health care. And I do think, I was talking to a Republican friend of mine who is quite prominent in this whole debate, and I said, how's it going over there? And he said, oh, this is really tough for us, this is really tough. And I realized something. Many of these Republicans, a whole bunch of them, did not do what they did because they thought it was the right thing for their constituents, right? They didn't vote for the bill because they thought it was good for their constituents. They voted for the bill because they were afraid of Donald Trump endorsing a challenger, and they were afraid of Elon Musk putting money in against them. Now they got to choose between Donald Trump endorsing a challenger and Elon Musk putting money in against them. Maybe this is an opportunity for them to actually do what is good for their constituents and vote the bill down and know that people are actually going to thank them for that. That's my hope.
Hope springs eternal, like a whole lot of things, weeds, etc. But the reality, the reality, Congresswoman, is exactly the point that you made, that what Republicans anticipated in the bargain that they cut with two devils, right? With the president in the fear that, oh, we got to do what he said because the base will be mad. With Elon Musk, he's going to throw his money around. Well, listening to Elon Musk today, who had a lot to say, it seems like, there could be some folks that could be primaried with Elon Musk money regardless of what Trump does, depending on how far he wants to go. So it was very interesting to me when Speaker Johnson was asked about this today. This is how he reacted.
Elon Musk did suggested that perhaps Donald Trump should be impeached and replaced by J.D. Vance. I mean, for you to say it's not personal, it seems to have gotten...
It clearly is personal. I don't know what motivating... I don't know what has motivated this disturbance to begin, but obviously it's not helpful.
He didn't say no.
Oh, he didn't say no, but the oh boy was the part for me. To your point, Republicans now are sitting with clenched teeth because they are now in a much tougher position relative to the big bill, their constituencies, and these two individuals than they were 24 hours ago.
Yeah, because they were going to do what was bad for their constituents, kicking Medicaid off. I mean, in Mike Johnson's home state of Louisiana, 60% of births are covered by Medicaid. But they were going to do that because they were sort of assuming that they would get all this money from the richest man in the world. And now that this division is there, it has a whole lot of implications for a lot of things, but I think that certainly people are sitting there and wondering what to do because this fight makes it clear they're going to get primaried either way. And either they're going to vote, against the bill, the big bad betrayal bill, they're going to vote against it, and then Trump's going to come after them, or they're going to vote, if they vote against it. See, I have to think about this too. If they vote against it, then Trump is going to come out.
But if they vote for it, then Elon Musk is going to spend money against them.
Well, Elon Musk said, put your money on him. Alicia, that's what he tells the people. He said, he replied to Laura Loomer on his social media site, and he said, consider this, and I'm paraphrasing, but Donald Trump will be around for 3.5 years. Elon Musk said he'll be around for 40 plus.
There are a lot of people in the group chat right now. I don't know if you noticed that Steve Bannon has also entered, and he is saying this. People, including myself, are recommending to the president that he pull every contract associated with Elon Musk and that major investigations start immediately into his immigration status, his security clearance, and his history of drug abuse, into his relationship with the Chinese Communist Party, and into his involvement with attempting to get President Xi to the inauguration. What I think is interesting about the timing of all of this, Congresswoman, is they were already having a reckoning with what they believe Trumpism is all about vis-a-vis this budget bill. You see the fighting. There are people who thought that this was all about the deficit. There are people who thought that this was all about exploding the status quo in Washington. They are not, even within their own caucus, on the same page about what it was they were elected to do. Steve Bannon would tell you that he represents the populist wing of the Trump base. The fact that he is capitalizing on this moment with Musk, to me, is an echo of what we are already seeing in the budget bill fight.
No, that's exactly right. I mean, look, they haven't known. Just look at the fact that they barely got this thing through. Okay, it was one vote. That's how they got it through. And so I think it is really important for us to understand that during that whole time on the Budget Committee, on every committee that I sat on, the argument was always about the fact that it was going to explode the deficit.
There's this beef between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Do you think they're going to have an appetite for that subpoena?
Well, this is the perfect time to bring Elon Musk in. Number one, he is no longer, he just recently separated from he was a special White House employee, so we couldn't get him because legally they had the ability to block that. But now he's gone, and we've got this this ugly divorce going on between himself and the president. So you would think with the threats by Elon Musk to go after Republicans in the upcoming election, that might give them the willingness to at least defend themselves and also to dig into some of these questions that exist around Elon Musk and his contracts, his access to private information of every American, IRS information, Social Security information, census data that he has now aggregated to his own.
Exactly.
That is such an incredibly important point.
The servers
that are still at the old executive office building inside the White House and other government agencies. Musk has this data. So you has this tweet today with this sort of cryptic response regarding, Epstein and all of that from that storyline. And it begged the question, what does he have in terms of information? And so now you have a situation, going back to your point about Republicans, who are now caught between a Donald Trump who'll be mad at them if they don't vote for his big, beautiful bill,
right,
and Elon Musk if they do.
Right. The other thing that worries me is that the Chinese have an AI system where they have full spectrum surveillance of all their citizens. We always, up to now, we have always had separate silos of information. We have, the census, we have IRS, we have Social Security, but we don't allow that to come together because it would provide full spectrum surveillance of U.S. citizens. Well, Elon Musk put his people in there, and they got access to everything. And his idea was to create this one big silo on information on U.S. citizens, and that's terribly dangerous.
Very dangerous, and he's not authorized to have it.
And I think he's creating it anyway because he's now had the access unfettered.
And the servers.
He could be.
I guess, Congressman, this lends itself to, and as we introduced you, we said you were the acting ranking, which is the acting ranking member of Oversight.
Right.
There are going to be internal caucus elections to select the permanent ranking member. You have thrown your hat into the ring for that. I guess in the way that you conducted the meeting today, is that foreshadowing of how you would conduct the meetings and carry on the business of the committee as the ranking member if you were selected? Exactly.
So I've been in there about 5 weeks as interim ranking member. Now I guess I'm acting. They keep changing my title.
Interim acting.
So ultimately, we look to the date when we take control of the House, right? Democrats do. But in the meantime, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. So I've been involved in every single House investigation on Oversight for the past 24 years. We've done a lot of this. We've done 2 impeachment, one with Schiff and one with Jamie Raskin. So a lot of the work that we've done in those cases is applicable to what we're going to do going forward. We've got a target-rich environment. We've got everything that Trump has done so far and everything that he will do up till the time when hopefully the Democrats take over the House. So we've got to treat this in a very disciplined way. We need a steady hand on this and make sure we hold this administration accountable.
we've heard from a number of, we've had a number, I don't know if folks have noticed at home, but we're trying to get all the Democrats that have thrown their hat into the ring. And there are some that say, now is the time for fighters and new blood. I just heard you say steady hand. Are you suggesting that your experience should put you over the hump for your colleagues as opposed to some other folks who may be newer to Congress?
I think it's an advantage having done all these investigations. Remember, the Oversight Committee is different. We don't have a lot of legislation that comes out of that committee. It's about investigations. So if you've done investigations, it's like complex multi-party litigation as an attorney. You know, you need discipline. You need to really follow the facts. You need to depose, gather witnesses, and really lay out your case. And you also need messaging, which the younger members are great at with their demographic. They're very, very good at that. But my job would be to basically make sure that we accomplish what we want to, and then also lift up these younger members and give them an opportunity to shine.
Simone, some of what I'm hearing from the congressman is reminding me of your latest op-ed for MSNBC, where you write Democrats need to stop acting like they're holding a losing hand. I wonder how much of that, Simone, you see in the context of what oversight is able to do.
Well, look, I mean, Michael, what Alicia noted, Congressman, is that I have an op-ed and it's talking about wanting the moment as opposed to just meeting the moment. And I think there are a lot of Democrats out there who are waiting to be invited to the table, if you will, and not wanting the moment. But there are examples across the country right now of Democrats winning since 2024, of Democrats being out there, the Democratic Legislative Campaign Committee, even in the minority in some places across the country. They are doing things. And I don't know, Michael, you used to be a party chairman. What say you about the situations on the Hill?
First off, I thought and I would commend your op-ed to everyone on MSNBC Daily, because it really does strike a chord in this conversation that the country's having, and certainly the conversation inside the Democratic Party, as you well know, Congressman, about how you meet that moment. And I sat back and listened just now between the exchange between a former member of the DNC, a former member of the White House staff, a current member of the Congress, about their party.
You have Elon calling for impeachment, and you have Democrats that have done it as well, Al Green and others at the same time. The call for impeachment votes is now bipartisan. And it's bipartisan in a way that it wasn't even 2016, 2017. Because the Republicans that supported the Trump impeachment were never really MAGA. They voted with Trump a lot, so Kinzinger and Cheney. If you look at their voting records, they voted with Trump on a lot of individual bills most of the time. But they were never really MAGA. They were never really 100% I'm in, I'm MAGA, rah, 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 rah. They never were. Elon was. Elon was the number 2 in MAGA. He was the shadow president. He was de facto, not de jure, not under the law, but under all facts and common sense, the vice president. Had more minute-to-minute influence than J.D. Vance did on foreign policy and domestic policy, seemingly. He was in all these secret meetings, and he was planning stuff, and then was arguing with Trump about if he should hire somebody or fire somebody from cabinet. And he's already calling for impeachment. It wasn't like that last time. It wasn't. You didn't have MAGAs calling for impeachment. You didn't. It just didn't happen. Now it is. And this is the moment, guys. This is the moment where it all crumbles down for Donnie.